He said just your
All right,
name.
John, go ahead.
All right, my name is Jonathan Hewlett.
Hey, Jonathan Hewlett.
My name is Andrew
And then,
Navoa.
My name is Cornelius Patrick McCarthy IV, and I go by Connor.
Right. My name is Desiree Bannister.
Should I go full name? Or
Full
just-
name.
Full name.
My name is Keikoa Ali'i Randall Ho, and I go by Koa. So.
And we are...
You. All I want is you. This is why I keep my thoughts to myself. It's so easy to be quiet. When I open my mouth, I shoot it all to hell. Like the way I did tonight. Well, all along I knew you couldn't love me the way I love you. I wasn't certain yet because I hadn't asked. And I'm such a blissful fool. This is all my fault. Climbing up the walls, but your heart is so strong. Pray that I don't fall.
Said before I don't really have the moment of hope. That I'd remember how to swim. But I always forget the kind of boy that you love. And I am not him.
Always want what I can't have. Always love what can't love me.
Always meant to
Return the love I'm given.
This is all my fault. Climbing up the wall, but your heart is so soft. Pray that I don't fall. Just like the last time, these feelings will go away. Sit down, here's what I wrote here, and I lay.
Maybe I won't actually, or maybe I feel nothing at all. This is all my fault. Climbing up the walls, but your heart is so tall. Pray that I don't fall. Yep, that's it.
I don't know to talk about a musical moment or like an actual lick.
Do both.
Take us there,
Do
John.
both.
All right. So
Love the Staple Singers.
when I was a young man, When I was a kid, I played in this gospel group in Houston. I was playing percussion, and the drummer was a bit older than me. He was like in his like early 20s, and so I was just like kind of first learning how to play drum set. And he played this one lick, and I every time I would hear it, to me it made no sense, but it always made its way back to the one. And I asked him to show it to me, and then I would work on it for like a week, like every day, just like shed it until it like opened up my mind to a different type of vocabulary. And I think that was like a moment that like kind of like notched my improvisation to another level. That's my boy Rob Derritt. He's from Texas.
What was it?
All right, so
Now you can't mess up.
so he would play like a groove like this.
What? Nice.
And, just like kind of like taking that triplet vocabulary and then compounding it. And as a kid, I was like, what was that? So confused. So yeah, I feel like that was like one of the greater musical moments and technical advancements.
Thank you, Gospel Chops.
Thank you, Gospel Chops.
Actually, yeah. How about you, Andrew?
The first one that comes to mind is between high school and college. I was like on a quest for new music. I like landed on D'Angelo.
Of course.
Wow.
And like the number one song, I guess at the moment, I don't know if it changed or not, but it was Untitled.
Oh.
And I was just kind of going through all like the artists and just like listening to like the top 3 songs or whatever like that. And so when that one came on and like people were not playing like with the drums, I was like, what is this? Oh. I kind of just like, just like the way that they could like, there's just a whole, it kind of like made me realize that there's like a whole like universe between like each note. And like being able to just like, can we play it?
I don't have the track.
No, can you just like play the, like the difference between like, and then like,
Right.
like it just like, it made me realize that there's so much more time to be explored. Like I just don't think like rhythm in itself is like emphasized a lot, especially like from someone who like started off playing clarinet as like their first instrument. It was like the last thing on my mind. But I think that's my kind of like big epiphany moment.
Thank you, D'Angelo.
Yeah.
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
I never thought of that before.
I don't know.
I actually have that written in my notes.
Right next to digital mail and physical mail.
It's like a note in itself.
This guy's on folder. It'll never die. God.
Digital mail and physical mail.
Guys, I got it.
Y'all asleep. You don't know what's coming.
He said,
I'm gonna quit the band, start my own business.
he said 2025 it'd be different.
I'm going places.
Jesus.
What about you?
Thanks for sharing, man.
Thanks for sharing.
Man, I grew up a lot with my dad playing guitar, and I think of him as like the quintessential campfire guitar player. Knows like, any Bob Dylan tune, any Neil Young song. And so I just, grew up seeing him like playing for friends and family. And my first experiences with music were seeing how it can bring people together and just make people laugh and have a good time. And another just like very seminal moment was hearing King Crimson's Starless, which has this whole like bridge section that's in 13/8, and it's based around this nasty riff. I'll play a little bit of it. I gotta crank it up for this riff though. And it's like this whole like building thing with Bill Bruford on the drums. Like, have I showed you that? You got to hear that track, man. That's Bill Bruford on the drums. He actually wrote that. Bill Bruford.
Is it like
wrote
in a, like
that
kind of
riff.
like a shuffly type feel? What's that?
He comes in. I gotta play it for you.
We
We might
might
have to
jam
listen to it on
that.
the big speakers because it's like trying to wrap my head around something that was in 13/8. It's like, you're allowed to do that? Like, that's breaking the rules. That's not 4 or 6. And yeah, just everything about like that just kind of blew the roof off the whole thing. And I've been a little prog boy since. That's it. That's all I got.
His proggiest moment.
Yeah, the musical moments, that idea really resonates with me because I think I've had a lot of like male influence in my life in terms of my father was like a huge jazz fan and my grandfather was a huge music fan, and I like all of the musical influences that I was fed came from them. And I had people who I loved in the like music world who were men, like Donny Hathaway and Marvin Gaye and like, you know, those people. But like it wasn't until I started truly listening to like women that I had certain musical moments that made me like understand the type of woman I wanted to be. So the first one, and it always happens when you're like a youngin', like 11, 12, like, I don't know, just Killing Me Softly with his song is one of those songs that anytime it comes on, I feel okay. And the lick in that, I still can't do it to this day. At the end, it's it's so hard. It's so hard for me. And like that was one of the first times where I heard a voice that sounded like mine, similarly. And like I just thought she was just fucking cool. Like, like her, Lauren just was like that chick that I just wanted to be, who was like around the dudes and could hang with the dudes and like could gain respect from them, but just was also like sitting in the fact that she was just a woman. And the song Killing Me Softly was like her falling in love through music. And I was like, oh, I want to do that and I want to sound like it. Oh, it was just, my brain exploded. So I listened to that ad nauseum. Like I had a little karaoke machine in my room and it had like a little CD player and I like would play that always. Gotta give my props. They're cute.
It's beautiful.
Cute. Yeah. What about you, homie?
I feel like my musical trajectory from when I started, you know, making stuff to now isn't really that different at the core. Like, I feel like my concept of self started when I got like my first laptop and had GarageBand for the first time.
Woo!
And this is like the start of high school, I guess. And so the difference between then and now is like I'm still looping spacey shit alone in my room, but it was like metal then, and now it's like I learned about Jay Dilla. No, but I feel like me and Connor kind of have similar musical upbringings. Like I went to School of Rock. I wanted to be a shredder, but I had this guitar teacher who was like, we were doing like The Wall, like the Pink Floyd album, and it's like the first show that every new School of Rock does to like open up the school and like get kids in and stuff. And I remember I went there and I was so excited to play guitar and like I just wanted to shred and like just really, really be a guitar player. And what this teacher said to me was like, man, you're gonna make a really good rhythm guitar player someday.
Woo!
And that like destroyed me.
Jeez.
And kind of at the same time, when I was getting into School of Rock, I was like 12 or 13. I started playing upright bass, like classical music. And I thought that was going to be like my ticket into playing music for the rest of my life. Like I was going to audition for this arts high school and like be in orchestra and like get a scholarship to play classical music in college. And like that was going to be my life. And then I just had a really shitty relationship with my orchestra director. And I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna try out for jazz band. And the rest is history. But
it's almost like your school of rock teacher like wasn't too far off about you.
oh, he was
making
not
it
far
good.
off at all.
Like you'll be a good rhythm
He's
guitar
so
player,
right.
but you just
He's
won't
a
be playing
prophet.
guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
He like goes like to different school of rocks and just like chooses someone like you are the bass player.
He's the Obi-Wan.
You're gonna be really good though.
Yeah. But I like the fact that you we all kind of brought up people who we're influenced by, but they may not be prominent
You're
in our
straight ahead.
playing. Yeah.
Like just the
Well-
most obvious choices for
Right.
us as musicians on our instruments, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, like Ella, How High the Moon was like the first solo that I ever learned. And that was one of the first times where I was like, oh God, like you can do that. And I learned it, and it was like a technique thing, and I still sing it sometimes. And I every time I sing it, it's like I have such respect for it. And I think that it's it's an influence of mine, but I love the fact that I can still play that type of stuff, but it doesn't have to be the forefront of what I'm, producing. It can just be kind of like
Totally.
my little
it's in there,
hidden
though.
secret. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
all wrapped up in everything else too.
Oh, 100%.
Like I'll never be Thundercat, but he has changed my life.
Right, and you don't play James Taylor stuff, but the fact that you pick up a guitar and it comes out a little bit. It's
Those changes
dope.
definitely always still come out.
Dope.
Did you mean them changes?
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Love the Isley Brothers.
Yes, I play.
No, we'll spare.
Okay.
All right, well.
That's the history. That's what we call the lineage.
Have you
Word.
heard of it? And,
Yep. Give props to the